السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. Welcome to this lecture. I'm Dr. Khalid Al-Amin. In this session, we will talk about the development of the reproductive system. And in this lecture, we will talk about the internal genital organs for both male and female. We'll talk about sex differentiation, external genital organ development, and some of the clinical correlations. So these are the outlines of the lecture. First, the reproductive system is closely related to the development of the urinary system. Actually, both of them, they develop from the intermediate mesoderm. So this indicates that some of the congenital anomalies, they share both problems in the urinary system and the genital system, okay, because they develop from the same intermediate mesoderm. The development of the reproductive system starts early in the 4th week. As you remember, this structure here is the intermediate mesoderm, which will give the kidney its upper part, the part of the head and neck, which form the pronephros, then the mesonephros, and then the kidney develop from the metanephros. And we know that the mesonephros has a mesonephric duct. We have to remember this because they are closely related to the reproductive system. And we should know that this is the mesonephric duct, which is for the mesonephros, which is at some stage is the kidney, temporary kidney, and this duct will carry the urine for the cloaca. Next to this mesonephric duct, we have paramesonephric duct. Okay, paramesonephric duct, which is supposed to carry the gametes also to the cloaca. Okay, so the mesonephric and the paramesonephric, both of them, they go to the cloaca. Cloaca is the excretory part here, which is primitive excretory organ. It is excretory organ for the GIT, for the renal, for the reproductive. But with development, it gets divided, and it divides into many parts. So initially, as we mentioned, both sexes, male and female, they have mesonephric or Wolffian duct in relation to Wolff, who discovered it, and the paramesonephric duct or the Mullerian duct for Muller. So in male, initially at first we have the mesonephric and the paramesonephric. With further development of each sex, one of them will persist and one of them will disappear. So they will not persist both. So if the mesonephric duct persists, this means that the paramesonephric duct disappears, and vice versa. If the paramesonephric duct persists, then the mesonephric duct will disappear. What determines this? This is determined by sex. We should know that the mesonephric duct was first part of the duct for the urinary system, but it will turn to form part of the reproductive system. Okay, so we have the gonad, which is indifferent means undifferentiated. It is not said to be testis or ovary. Until now, it is not differentiated. So this gonad is supposed to produce gametes, and this gamete will supposed to go through this paramesonephric duct. And the mesonephros here, which is the temporary kidney at one stage, is having the mesonephros. Okay, you can see that all the duct they go to the cloaca. So here we have the paramesonephric or the Mullerian, and this is the Wolffian or mesonephric duct. Okay, one for the urinary, one for the, but later one of them persists and the other one disappears. Okay, let us see what happens in the female for the mesonephric and the paramesonephric duct. The two paramesonephric duct become the uterine tube, and the distal part of them fuse together to form the uterus and the upper vagina, and the mesonephric duct degenerate completely. So in females, which duct persists? It is the Mullerian duct or the paramesonephric duct, while the mesonephric disappears. Okay, so if we have two paramesonephric duct like this, the distal part of them will fuse, and this fuse part here will form let us say the uterus and the upper part of the vagina, and definitely the cervix. Okay, and the upper part of the vagina, and this part will turn like this to form the fallopian tube. Definitely the gonad is there. The gonad is there because it is formed earlier. So this will be the ovary, the fallopian tube, the uterus, and here we have the upper vagina. Note that we mentioned upper part of the vagina. We didn't mention the lower part of the vagina, which is developed from something else. Okay. So this orange part here, these are the paramesonephric duct. You can see the lower part are approaching, and definitely they will fuse and form the uterus and upper vagina, and this upper part of the cloaca will be the lower vagina. Okay, what about the, you can see that they are forming the fallopian tube, the uterus, and the upper vagina. The mesonephris disappears, mesonephric duct, except for this appendix ovary or barophron and epiphron. They are rudimentary part. They are not functioning. They are not working. They just indicate the history of the presence of the Wolffian duct. So sometimes in the female, if we are doing surgery and we find rudimentary non-functional part like this, we should not worry. This may be the remnant of the mesonephric duct. Okay? While the upper part of the paramesonephric duct, the Mullerian duct, will form the fallopian tube, the lower part form the uterus, cervix, and upper vagina. This is paramesonephric duct. This is the ovary which is formed, and these are the remnants here, epiphron and barophron. What happens if the paramesonephric duct are not fused? So they can form two uteri like this, and this is called double uterus. Sometimes they fuse down, but upper part remain separate like this one, and this is called double uterus single vagina, and here we have double uterus, double vagina. Or sometimes the uterus is partially fused, but it has two parts here. This is corn or horn, and this is called bicornuate uterus. Sometimes they fuse, but the septum in between them did not disappear. So this is called septate uterus. It is one uterus, but inside it have a septum. Or sometimes we can see a unicornuate uterus. This means that one of the paramesonephric duct disappears and the uterus is formed from only one paramesonephric duct, and this is called unicornuate uterus. Or we can have cervical atresia. The lower part of the paramesonephric duct do not form a canal, and this is called cervical atresia. Okay, so the problem here are due to failure of separation or incomplete separation of the paramesonephric duct, because we have two ducts which fuse together and the septum between them disappear and they form one room, which is the uterus. Okay, let us see the case in males. What happens in males? The mesonephric duct become the ductus differens. So here we have the mesonephric duct persisting. If we know that in females the paramesonephric duct, the one which persists, so in male the one which persists is the Wolffian or the mesonephric duct. This will form the ductus differens, the seminal vesicle, part of the prostate. So they form part of the gland, part of the duct of the male, the vas deferens, the seminal vesicle. The paramesonephric duct degenerates completely, and the same sometimes we see rudimentary bodies. So here we will see the violet color, the orange color will disappear. This will form the epididymis, the vas deferens, and as we said, part of the seminal and prostate. Sometimes we see this part, you can see this orange color here, this is called appendix testis. Appendix testis, and we can see paradidymis. These two, they are the remnants of the Mullerian duct or the paramesonephric duct. Okay, so in males the one which disappears is the Mullerian duct, and this is controlled by chromosomes, and the chromosomes, they secrete hormones, and the hormones which control the duct. Okay, so this is the testis which is already there, but any duct system is formed from the mesonephric duct. Okay, efferent tubules, epididymis, vas deferens, and the seminal vesicle and prostate. Okay, this is for the first part, which is the duct and the glands of the male and the female. Next, we have another important topic, which is called sex determination and formation of the external genitalia. So here we have to talk about the Y chromosome. Sometimes we hear that the Y chromosome is not functioning, but it is functioning because we will we do have a region in the Y chromosome which is called SRY, sex determining region of the Y chromosome. In this Y chromosome, it is a chromosome, but we have a region of this chromosome. This is called sex determining region, or SRY. This is the part which secrete a substance which is controlling the differentiation of the sex. So we have a gonadal ridge. We have a bipotential gonad. Bipotential means it can form a testis or an ovary. But let us follow if the chromosomes of the baby are XY. So we have SRY region, and this bipotential gonad will be a testis. So the gonad will differentiate and it will form a testis, and this SRY will secrete this substance which is called anti-Mullerian hormone. Anti-Mullerian hormone. If it is called anti-Mullerian hormone, what it will do? It will prevent development of the Mullerian duct, and it will prevent formation of the uterus, the fallopian tube, and so on. So this will lead to regression of the Mullerian duct, and on the other hand, we will, as we form testis, so we will have Leydig cells. From the Leydig cells, we have testosterone. From the adrenal gland, we have testosterone. This will lead to differentiation of the Wolffian duct into male genital duct and descent of the testis. What happens if the chromosomes are XX? So the baby is a female, and the bipotential gonad will be an ovary, and in this ovary we have a region which is DAX or want for gene. This will stimulate the ovary to produce estrogen, and the estrogen will lead to development of the Mullerian or the paramesonephric duct into uterus, fallopian tube, and the vagina. Okay, so this will form female genital duct. So the sex determination is dependent on the chromosomes. Are they XX or they are XY? Okay, are they XX? It means that we have separate genes. If it is XY, we have this gene which is called SRY. Okay. Something to mention, sometimes we divide the differentiation into sex into primary, secondary, and tertiary. The primary is the differentiation of the X or the XY. This means that this is chromosomal differentiation, and this is determined at fertilization. When the sperm fertilized over, we know, and the sex of the baby will be known, either male or female. If these chromosomes secrete SRY or WON4, this will lead to differentiation of the gonad into testis or ovary, and this is called secondary sex. So if the baby has a testis, he is a male. If the baby secrete WON4 and the gonad differentiated into an ovary, this is a female. The third level of differentiation is the differentiation of the external genitalia. External genitalia. And this can be seen by ultrasound in the second trimester. And at that time, we will know by ultrasound, by naked eyes, if the baby is male or female. Okay, so we have primary sex, secondary sex, tertiary sex. Okay, this primary according to chromosomes, secondary according to gonads, tertiary according to external genitalia. So how can we differentiate the sex of the baby? It can be differentiated at 3 levels, the levels which we mentioned. When does the sex of the baby is known? When does the sex of the baby became known? This is dependent. Is it the primary sex? This is at fertilization. Is it the secondary sex determination? This is at a later weeks. Or is it a tertiary sex? We said this can be determined at external. So at one time, the external genitalia of the baby is not known if he is or he is she. And this is called indifferent stage. Indifferent. Indifferent means undifferentiated. If it becomes differentiated into male genitalia or female genitalia, I mean external genitalia, this is non-different sex. Okay? So we have chromosomal sex at fertilization. We have the differentiation start at the 7th week after fertilization. So this is the start of differentiation. Before that, it is indifferent. Distinguishing features start to appear at the 9th week, and you can judge confidently at the 12th week, where the sex is fully differentiated. Okay, so this is very important. The start at the 7th, some distinguishing feature at the 9th, but fully differentiated at the 12th. So what is the indifferent sex stage? This is the stage before the 12th week, where the external genitalia of the baby will be indifferent or undifferentiated. This is picture of the baby. This is the area of the umbilicus, abdomen, intestine in yellow, and here we see the mesonephric duct and the mesonephros. The red one here is the gonad. We mentioned this about the chromosomal differentiation. Then we have indifferent gonads, then different gonads, and then differentiation of the duct and the external genitalia. The external genitalia of the baby at one stage, as we mentioned, is look the same. We have what we call the genital tubercle. We have something like this, and then we have two fold. We have two fold like this. This part here is called the genital tubercle. This fold is called the labio-scrotal fold, and this fold, which is inner to it, is called the genital fold or the urethral genitourethral fold. So what happens if the baby is X, Y, it will have this look, but due to the SRY region, we have the formation of inhibition of formation of the Mullerian duct and formation of the mesonephric duct and secretion of testosterone. Testosterone will lead to growth of this genital tubercle. It will grow, and this genital tubercle will be converted into the penis. Also, this testosterone will lead to fusion of the labioscrotal fold into two testis, scrotum. We said that it is called labioscrotal. Labio from labia, scrotal from scrotum. So it male, it forms the scrotum. And as this genital tubercle elongate up, it force the inner fold there to fold and close to form the male urethra, and this is the penis. So this is a male. On the other hand, if the baby is XX, we have labioskrotal fold, we have genital fold, and we have genital tubercle. So if this is X, this genital tubercle will not elongate and it will form the clitoris. And this will not close and it will form labia major. And this will not close and it will form labia minor. Okay, so in female it is the same, but there is no elongation of the genital tubercle and there is no penis. So on each side of the cloacal membrane, we have the labioscrotal fold, the urogenital fold or the urethral fold, or the genital fold, which contain the urethra. This is the genital tubercle here. This is labioscrotal, and this is urogenital or urethral fold. And at this level, this is in different stage. It can be male or female. So if we have XY, as we mentioned, the phallus elongates to form the penis. Elongation pulls the urogenital fold together. When the fold start to fuse, they close the urethra in between them, and the urethra will close, and the urethral opening will move towards the end or the terminal part of the penis. The labioscrotal swelling fuse forming the scrotum. Okay. This is the genital tubercle. It elongate, it pull the urogenital fold, it pull it up with it. So this is the glans penis, this is the body of the penis, and you can see here this fold, this is the labioscrotal, and it is forming the scrotum. This is after this part will fuse and it close because the urethra will not open here, and it will move to open up here. What happens in the female? The phallus or the genital tubercle become the clitoris because it doesn't elongate, it is relatively small. The urogenital fold do not fuse, form labia minora. The labioscrotal do not fuse, they just fuse at the ends and they form labia majora, and this is female external genitalia. So in male and female we have the same stage first, but then we got differentiation. Okay, either elongation and formation of the glans penis and the body of the penis from the urogenital fold, and this will be the scrotum. In females, this will form the labia majora, labia minora, and this genital tubercle will be the glans of the clitoris. So this is in different sex stage. This is the male development, and this is the female development. Okay. And this indifferent sex stage, let us talk about female circumcision or female mutilation. Mutilation because they mutilate the female organs. As we have seen, the male and the female, they have the same origin. So why we cut the clitoris, the labia majora and the labia minora? They are functioning part of the female external genitalia and they should not be touched. Otherwise, this would be mutilation. Okay, or female circumcision. So we have to abandon this tradition, which affect the female in different ways at many levels. Sometimes we have what we call intersex or hermaphroditism. Intersex means there is disturbance of the differentiation of the sex. It can be true hermaphrodite. True hermaphrodite means that the baby have ovarian and testicular tissue, either on the same or on the opposite gonad. Sometimes On one side we have an ovary, and on the other side we have uh, testis, or on both sides we have testis and ovary, testis and ovary. If we have testis and ovary, this is called true hermaphrodite. What we have to do, we have to look for the genes. Is it XY? So we have to remove the ovarian tissue. If it is XX, then this is a female, and we have to remove the testicular tissue, and it will need hormonal treatment. False hermaphrodite, they are XX or the XY, the genes are known. In the gonad, they have either testis or ovary, either, not both. But there is a problem in differentiation of the external genitalia. This is called false hermaphrodite. It can be female pseudo-hermaphroditism. It means that we have 46 XX. That is why we say it is a female, but its external genitalia look like a male. And this is because the adrenal gland early on secrete testosterone. Testosterone has two sources, the testis and the adrenal adrenal cortex. So if the female have higher level of adrenal testosterone from the adrenal cortex, this will lead to a change of the look of the external genitalia, and it resemble male, but it can be uh, reverted because at puberty this female will have full female picture and hormones. Or it can be a male pseudohermaphroditism. We have testes, we have XY chromosome, but the adrenal cortex have lower testosterone, and the external genitalia look like female, and sometimes they are considered females. They are given female names because the penis is absent, or it looks like clitoris and the labia majora do not fuse, and they are raised as girls until puberty, where they secrete testosterone from the testes, and their voice, their masculinization, they have male features. So they get confusion, and they need treatment. Okay, so we can have true hermaphroditism. This means that we have both testis and ovary, or it is false. It means that we have either testis or ovary. Sometimes we have what we call hypospadias or epispadias. Hypospadias mean that the urethral opening, as we have seen in the picture, is not on the top of the penis. It is on the ventral side or the lower side of the penis. And this just because the urethra doesn't completely fuse. It can be on the glands of the penis or the body of the penis, or it can be peniscrotal, which is difficult to treat. Epispadias mean the urethral opening is on the dorsal side or the upper part of the penis. Okay, so sometimes the opening of the urethra is not at the top of the penis like this one. It can be here lower down between the glands and the body, in the body, and it can be in the area of the penoscrotal or even at the scrotum. If it is away from the normal opening, it will be difficult to treat. If it is close to the normal opening, the treatment can be by surgery just in one session. Okay? So any opening which is not at the tip, this is hypospadias. Hypospadias. Hypo means lower, on the under surface. Epi means up, on the upper. Okay, I hope if you have any questions, we can have them. So in summary, we mentioned that the intermediate mesoderm forms both the genital and urinary system. We talked about the mesonephric and the paramesonephric ducts, although they are two ducts, but one of them will stay and the other one will disappear according to the sex. We talked about sex differentiation and determination, primary sex, secondary sex, tertiary sex in different stages, and this is controlled by genes. Genes control hormones, hormones control external genitalia. We talked about the development of the external genitalia, and thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the session and you get the maximum benefit. Thank you very much.